Here we have a 2001 Ford Ranger 3.0 liter V6. Made it to a 5-speed transmission. It's 2-wheel drive, single cab, trailhead edition. It's a 2001, and it's the predecessor to the Ford Ranger Edge, which came out that following year. The difference with this is that it has just a front torsion bar suspension. We have a front valence with fog lights, and also the lift. It's not a stock height for most Rangers you see on the road. This has a lift from factory. I don't know exactly how much. I think it's maybe 2.5 inches of lift, and it's got the RPM gauge. The needles are there for this. Some Rangers don't even have that. Pre-models, they don't have that the RPM gauge. This one did. And that's about it as far as cosmetics. It's got that little trailhead sticker in the back, which I've seen before on one time only, out in the wild. This dark gray single cab one. I seen it pass by, and I saw the trailhead sticker. I was like, huh. It made me think after that. I did some research, and I realized it was a trailhead. And I was excited to see another one out there. But I think this truck is beautifully designed. I think in white is a good color overall for cars. I'm realizing it just brings out a lot of its contours, a lot of the body lines and the shape of it can be brought out with white. Just something very specific about that. But I greatly appreciate the view that I'm looking at right now. Also, this monstrosity. It's beautiful, but it's a freaking monstrosity. But the truck itself, I think it's well designed. It's got that's like even streamlined look in a way. It's like a fleet vehicle, utility workhorse. That's what I think. It's just the shape is so nice. Like all these new modern trucks are just gross. Even some of the older ones are gross. The shape, but the Ranger just somehow has a good look to it, in my opinion. Sometimes I think that could be better set off with like some meaty tires, more offset or less offset, a leveling kit, all the spiel. If you have a truck or you like modifying cars, you know what that's like. You just think about everything about it. Yeah, it's got that oxidation in the front. It's got its wear and tear, no big dings or anything, but it for the age 2001, I think it's pretty good here. It's got that crack along the glass, the windshield that it came with when I got it. The oxidative stress on the front bumper cover, which is steel, which is nice. I think that's also a trailhead component that was added into it. I got the side steps there from a Mazda B2300, the Ranger's cousin, whatever, they're related. I took those off and I put them on. They fit right up nicely. It's a good feature. It gives it a layer to the eye, a dimensional layer when you're looking at it. It's got mud flaps, just little, just cosmetic stuff. Everything works well. Everything looks good. The classic yellowing, hazy headlights. I mean, it adds to the character, to the age. Here's the cabin. Steering wheel is at a good length for me. Good height. I like that it's right up here within my torso area. I can just hold like no problem right there. It's got good diameter wheel. I can easily control it, maneuver it as I need to. Yeah, so I can easily reach here, all the controls with my hand. It's really accessible. I can open the door right away from here, not much of a reach. I also have a long wingspan. I do have manual windows on this. I prefer a manual window, really, over automatic. It's just ease of access. Look at that, it just feels nice. It's like fidgeting, right? Sometimes we like to fidget with things. That's to me it's not like you just start fidgeting the window, rolling it up and down as whatever you can, I guess, but it just has a nice feel to it. Classic, the panels are all plastic, one piece plastic for the most part. Just simple, easy to clean. Here we have the weather, what do you call this, weather flooring or something that the Ranger came with. This one is just you easily can clean it up, get in, get out, muddy, water, whatever, dirt, it's fine. You can sit up this high, this short if you want, or just, I keep it sometimes like this. If I'm tired and I want to have some room to relax, I just move the seat up slight forward and just kind of lean back like this. Kind of feels good, but then I'm short on my pedal travel, so you know, pick one or the other, it's whatever. All right, so drivability in the Ranger. This is not your regular Ranger. I mean, there's various configurations, like various trims and packages within the species of Rangers, various varieties. And so this one is lifted. It's got that front torsion bar suspension, so that configuration is different than a non-front torsion bar suspension. So with this and the height and the bigger tires is a lot more springy, as you can see. You know, right now I'm driving a rough road, but it's stiff in the suspension, the travel, a little jittery sometimes when I go fast. It can be a little shocking, a little disorienting. Red light. The shape of the seat is like, has me in a cup. I'm not like, look at the shape of it. I'm not, what is this awkward position I'm in? Like, what do I do with this? Look, either the seat is too short, the headrest is too like short in height, or I don't know what to do with that seat. So most of the time I lean in towards the wheel like this, or I lean to the side like this, just to get away from this situation here. It's not really comfortable. So it doesn't help that the car is stiff like that sometimes, especially when you're tired after a long day. And it's nice, like being high off the ground, it's pleasant. I can, you know, you can see higher up, the weather's different up here. You know, you get to, you just feel like you're walking tall, walking proud. Not in the ego way, but just, you know, just nice. I like this feeling. Nothing complicated about the interior here. Everything's within reach, within access. I like that my viewpoints are very clear, very open in this single cab configuration. The window is not too tall, it's not too wide. The driver door window and passenger door windows are good dimensions, good proportions to the door and the cabin itself. The rear back glass, it's very, very clear. From the rear view, I can see just about maybe less than the tailgate's width. And so not really any blind spots with this. The only one that I can think of right away, really the only one, is when I turn to look when I'm merging lanes. This pillar right here, it's right there, so you have to like rely on the glass, on the side view mirror, or like look over. Not a big deal. That's it as far as visibility. We have this middle seat here. Middle seat, it's not really a seat. It is a seat, but it's not a seat, you know what I mean? I use it really most of its life. With me, I've used it as an armrest like this, just, you know, relaxing, you know, just coasting, especially on long road trips. I can just do this, just relax. Like, you put your wrist on the wheel, classic, you know, it feels good. I don't know why, it just does like this. The little latch door for this armrest does not work when it's set down. It just springs up. I used it before to put little things in there, like my little first aid kit. Gotta have one in your vehicle at all times. If you don't have one, you should consider getting one. It's a good investment. Here's that armrest I was talking about. So if I put it down, this door just doesn't latch. It just was broken or something. So I'm just, most of the time I can have it like this. Or, yeah, most of the times I've had it, my arm just rested. I think it even has like an indent of my forearm right here where I've leaned on it or just rested my arm, but it's kind of useless really. Storage is not that crazy. I had my first aid kit in here, nestled in. It's nice. You can even keep it like that and have this be out of the way. It has a middle seatbelt for the passenger, like what a toddler or something, that will go here. But then I've done it before with my little brother. He'll be in the way here, messing with the shifter, the controls. It's like no, you're not really gonna put someone in here unless you really have to. No AC, but the heat works amazing. The heat is superb on this thing. I have to turn it off, like even on the lowest setting in the winter. Give it it does take a while for it to warm up, but give it some time and this thing just heats right up. It's literally an oven in here, and that's just on the lowest setting. It's almost delayed gratification. I in the mornings I'll go to work early, it's cold, it's like I got freezing driving. Next thing you know, it's toasty. It's worth it. It's worth the wait. It's kind of like a cold shower. It's like dreadful at first, but then you get in, you get out, you feel so good, so fresh, you're ready to go for the day. Same thing in a way, or at least I'm choosing to look at it that way. Make it a lot more pleasant. It's some fun, but oh, in here my speedometer works, the needle for that. An issue, a bug that it has is the RPM needle will get stuck around 4,000 RPM. It just gets stuck, but it unsticks when you decelerate or when you suddenly shift to another gear. It likes to jump up. Lights for the cluster, some of them don't work. So while I'm driving sometimes at night, I'll just turn on my dim light so I can check the needles, see how they're doing, make sure nothing's out of order. That's the only time when it's an inconvenience, really, at night. But it's probably just some bulb replacements. The tachometer is still intact. The tachometer has been rolling with me for 27,000 miles. The miles I put in this truck. Horn works. It's good. Everything works as it should in here. The shifter is pretty comfortable. In my previous video of a Honda Fit review, I said that I had to travel to another county to retrieve the shifter, but that was dramatic. But in comparison to the Fit's travel, you can see why I would say that. But not too bad. I got good reach here, Go to fourth real quick. Boom. Just right here. It's good height. Just boom. It feels good. I got a good wingspan, a good arm span for this. Right there. Easy. Third. Boom. No prob. The Trailhead came with these fog lights. The fog lights on the front valence. That's what it's called. The front bumper valence. You actuate them, they turn on. It's pretty cool. Here we have also a deteriorating headliner. It started very young, as a small little sag. Eventually, it kept drooping and drooping and drooping. And sometimes you just comb it like this. Give it a nice little comb, and it could stay for a couple minutes. or however long it wants to, really, until the wind just starts peeling it off. But it's whatever. And
do you know if the sound system came stock?
the sound system is stock. I think it's a pretty good sound system for what it is. For the year, this sound system is pretty good. But
Nope.
let's see.
No tape deck.
Yeah, there's no tape deck. I'm tough like a ranger, dependable like a ranger.
Nautla, ahí está el saludito de parte de tu hermana Ludmila Torres hasta Nautla, Veracruz, para tu hermana Eli Santiago, Elizabeth.
So this is that trailhead sticker I was mentioning about. This is what defines a trailhead ranger. Just this sticker. And if you can point out the other little things that are matched up together, and then yeah, it's a trailhead. But this sticker is what defines this to be a trailhead. I think it's a cool design. At first I thought it was like some kind of hippie thing or something. I don't know what. That's the closest thing I can think of to describe it. Just you got the spiral and like tie-dye looking effect. But no, trailhead. Look at that. It's just fire. It's a good design. It's like, I love it, actually. I will wear that on a t-shirt just because I consider myself a trailhead. I like walking on trails, making trails. I like trails. So it worked along with me. Now, this is the tailgate. It's about a little under hip height for me. Good, just sit. Perfect. Just come and sit. It's got its dings. This bed liner came from a Mazda, the B2300, 3000, one of those. I know I said one or the other, but it came from that same one. It was wrecked, and this Ranger did not have the bed liner, so I just picked at that Mazda and just swapped it out for this one. It's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Japanese vehicles, so it's nice to have the Mazda there. Memorabilia. And let that other Ranger keep passing forward. But this is your standard bed length, a 6-foot bed. I think it's 57 wide. I don't know. Don't take my numbers. Go look him up. You just quick, if you care about that stuff, all the specifications of the vehicle, whatever. Go look it up. This works well for me. This has had gravel in it. For instance, in this haul, I have several 10-footers and several 8-footers. Comfortably, I think that 10-footers do well in the Ranger. In this example, in this orientation, I think I have in this material, the perfect flow. You can see I have the 2x12x10s laid out all on the bottom. I have one 2x8x10 next to them, maybe two. I have 4x4s on top. I have some decking, and I have 2x8x8 on top of the layer below. So that fits good ergonomically. Underneath all that is a half yard of mulch, and so it works well in this orientation. If the mulch wasn't there, the boards would be more up in the air, and anything longer than 10, it can get a little sketchy because there's a lot of bounce from the excess wood that hangs off of the tailgate. So I've had 12-footers here. I want to say I've had 16-footers. I didn't really measure. Maybe there were 14. But even then, I had to have them diagonal, and it was still really sketchy. So for as far as lumber, this works well. 4x4 or 4x8 sheets of plywood, they do well. I've had about 14 at once in here before. Resting on the tailgate, maybe not a good idea, but it worked out. And that's about the longest lumber that I would feel comfortable hauling, is up to 12. 10, if that, 12 if I needed to, but 10, perfect sweet spot for this Ranger. I've done some work with this bed. It does the job. You just have to sometimes get creative and have some guts for some things, and just have general common sense of how weight works with shifting motion and like all these things, that can make it fun sometimes, and you can just apply in life to other things. But nowadays they don't make them like this anymore. They don't make small ones like ease of access. There's no crazy components. We can go on about that spiel, but I won't. But I can just greatly appreciate just the simplicity of this little pickup, single cab. 2001, you'll still see many of them being out and about in the wild. That tells you something about this car. In that same Mazda, I also got this the hitch for the Ranger to tow with. I installed it, no problem, just bolted right up. I've got to tow a 16-foot trailer before. That in itself was already heavy, and on top of that, I towed some siding, maybe close to 1,500 pounds of siding or so. They were about 13 feet long, 14 feet long boards, something like that. I towed that for about 18 miles or so, maybe 20, something like that. 45-minute drive. But I had to go slower because the trailer was basically pushing the Ranger. It just looked so disproportionate, but it worked. It didn't feel too crazy. I would not tow with a manual transmission if you're doing that regularly. It just does not work well because you're constantly using the clutch to take off. Like if it's a heavy haul, especially, you need a lot of get going momentum, and the clutch just burns out easily. So I don't like towing with this rig specifically, the manual. It's just not what I want to do to the transmission clutch. For this, the transmission, when I first got the car, I had to replace it. I got it at 140,000 miles, and I did a servicing with my friend. Got a good deal on the truck, and so we did the work together. We did the camshaft synchronizer with an OEM part, Motorcraft part, and that was in itself like close to $200 just because it's OEM. And with that part specifically, you always go OEM for this Ranger. Just, OEM is always sometimes better. Always sometimes, but it doesn't make sense. But OEM is better in a lot of aspects. So the camshaft synchronizer will be good for another 100,000 miles. Other work done to it within that: the clutch, flywheel, fuel filter, new tires all around. And then we changed the transmission fluid, but that was a no-no because I think the transmission liked that fluid it had, and it probably wasn't serviced regularly, so it was used to that or something, that grudge, that slime. And so when that got replaced, the transmission started acting up, so we had to source a used one and put it right in. But that was I don't know what that was about. Was that user error? Very unlikely. Was that just mechanical error that the transmission did not like the fluid change? I'm not sure, but that was the only major component that was done to it. Like clutch is not really, I wouldn't consider that major. I just had to replace the part, but it wasn't the whole transmission. But as far as that's the only thing that has needed a major servicing, and that was right off the bat, so that got out the way. That was good. All in all, this truck has served me well. I've had it 27,000 miles so far, and every mile has been very useful. At first I was doubting its ability to drive long distances, like 1.5 to 2 hours away, to go pick up material or whatever the like. And every time I was in awe. I was proven wrong about my doubts, because I was able to get there and back efficiently, safely, and nothing went out of the ordinary. Nothing broke down on me. It was fine. It did well. Fuel economy, I will say that it's not the greatest. I drive this thing every day. Really, this is my daily driver, and I'd say I'd fill up around once a week or so, and I put around anywhere from 230 miles to the tank to maybe 260. The highest I've done is 280, 283 miles to the tank. It's the 13-gallon capacity. And the cool thing about this 2001 is that it came with a flex fuel option. So some gas stations will carry flex fuel, 2 different kinds. Or sometimes like Sheetz is really the one that I know that carries it the most and consistently. So it'll be around 15 to 20 cents, sometimes 30 cents cheaper than regular gas. So and it likes it better. It runs off flex fuel more efficiently. Has a little more kick to it, and it's cheaper. So that's one thing I do like about that option. But other than that, it's not great fuel mileage. But for what it is, it works well, you know. And I think if we as a society cared about fuel efficiency, I think we would already reach that easily. All these, like, how do you build this stuff, you know? Like, look around you. Like, how is it not a thing yet? That's just a load of horse manure. You know, I'm like, this could be done, but you know, whatever. This works well as it is for its size. It's compact pickup truck that you can get into many spaces. I've worked in fields and areas where it was tough to get into with other vehicles, but there was a little Ranger, little workhorse dang Power Ranger, went right in and made it. It was fine. The short wheelbase in the single cab makes it nice and fun to get into tight spots, and like you can easily make a radius turn. That's the good thing about this short wheel single cab. It's reliable as it is. I trust this vehicle to get me to and from with all the material I've hauled and all the separate missions and terrains and stuff, you know. I wouldn't say it's been abused, but I would say it's been used, you know. I care about my vehicle, so I tend to them. I don't just freaking, you know, go all the way to the wall with it. But I think this truck, this American truck, was well done. I know it's had its history alongside other trucks like the Chevy S10, the GMCs and all these things, but this one specifically I think it sits up there with the other ones, with the other great trucks that the American market has produced. This one specifically has been my experience. It stands out to me and will stick out to me, and it's one that I would consider getting again. I'm tough like a ranger, dependable like a ranger, workhorse dang Power Ranger, outstanding in the face of danger. I was born like a ranger, I see one on the road, hello neighbor, I see you in your Ford Ranger, to me you are no stranger.